Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Keep Gaming Reviews. I'm your host, Lu Nieves Jr. I am joined by Me Llamo CG. What's going on, man? And today we are reviewing the final episode of Marvel's What If. And man, this was an amazing, incredible ending that left you wanting more. And they gave us an end credit scene, by the way. So before we
They did.
continue, spoilers ahead. If you haven't seen the show,
Spoilers
please
ahead.
go see that shit now and come back. Also, we post new videos every Monday from Keep Gaming Podcast. If you miss us on Saturdays, 12 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/Keep Gaming Podcast, we do our main show and post show. But if you miss it again, you can watch us on YouTube or listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. So, Chris, let's get into this, man. Did Marvel do a good thing with this last episode, wrapping things up? Was this a great series overall? What were your thoughts on this episode, man?
100%. So, like, a lot of people's biggest issues, especially with the new Disney Plus series, I feel like so far all of the endings have been a little bit lackluster.
Yes.
Maybe I think Loki probably had the best ending out of the 3 live action ones so far.
What about the zombie one with Thanos? Or you just didn't like that?
No,
that
no,
he
I'm
left you
talking
hanging?
about I'm talking about the Disney Plus series in general, like
Oh, okay.
WandaVision,
Got you.
Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki.
Mhm.
Like the last episode for WandaVision, lackluster.
Got you.
It was
yes.
cool to an extent, lackluster.
Yeah.
Same thing with Falcon Winter Soldier.
Absolutely.
Had its moments, a little bit lackluster. Loki was probably the best out of the 3, but it still had like a little bit of the lackluster. This one, I feel like lived up. They gave us the lackluster episodes in
the
between.
beginning. Yeah, or in between.
And the
rather,
last,
yeah.
these last 2 were freaking phenomenal. They ended this perfectly. They even possibly like set it up to give us another season if they want to.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. 100%.
Now, I agree with everything you're saying. I won't disagree with that. I feel that this series, before we get actually, we'll do it that way. This series as a whole, I would probably, if I had to rate it 1 through 10, it would probably be a 7.5 because there were some good episodes in the beginning, got you hyped. And then like you went down a little bit and then you brought it up to end it. Like, I don't know if that's how they intended it to be. I'm not sure because there was a lot of storytelling. So for us to get to this point that at the end of the show where you see the watchers like, you have been chosen. You have been chosen. I feel like I was playing a game show in a way. And and I'm like, okay, I get it now. This series overall was made for this moment. For us to understand, because my wife actually watched the show, that last episode with me. She's like, I don't get what's going on.
Okay.
I said, give it a moment because we're going to get towards the end and it'll maybe explain. And it really didn't. If you didn't watch the series, you might have been lost because each character that was chosen, besides Gamora, because we didn't really get to see her story arc, we knew everybody before we got there. So to see them come together and then go into Black Widow's world, all that shit was fucking dope. I was at the edge of my seat for this episode, but the series as a whole was a roller coaster, and I think it paid off in the end.
Okay. I respect that. I can respect it. Because for me personally, I'm looking at the episode list.
Okay.
And for me, 6 out of 9 are great. To me.
Great.
Like 8's and up type of stuff.
But there was some that you did 7 though.
Right.
But for the most part, I remember you doing a lot of 8s because there was some that you actually liked more than I did.
Right. So like the Star-Lord one.
Yeah,
the
that
one
was great.
where the Avengers all died.
That was great
With
too. I
Hank
like
Pym.
that. Yeah.
Zombies. Great.
Great. Yeah. That's 3. I actually liked the first one too. You didn't. So
the one I didn't like the first one. That was one of my ones that I didn't like. The Doctor Strange one I did like. You didn't like.
I didn't like. Okay, so that's 5.
So for me, that's 4 so far that I liked out of the first 5. I like the Killmonger one and the Thor one as well, but those were probably bottom tier out of all these.
Mm-hmm.
Personally. Captain Carter was the worst one for me.
Wow, the worst one.
And then the last 2 were phenomenal. So for me, if 6 out of 9 are good, the whole series overall, I'm giving an 8.5 out of 10. Straight up like that.
So a full point more than me because I said 7.5. You said 8.5. Okay, I dig it.
Yes.
Hold on one second.
Good.
I gotta fix my audio in my headphones. So let's talk about this episode now that we graded the series overall. This episode really just got straight into it. You saw the Watcher go to each individual universe, select his superheroes that he
He
needed.
collected his Pokemon.
Yeah, pretty much. And I was like, first of all, they shitted on Tony Stark and Iron Man this entire series.
Love it.
Like legit said, he said, "Not you, Tony. I need Gamora." Like
Right.
that, like damn.
But did you notice that Gamora had Thanos's suit
Armor.
on?
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, I would have liked to see her get explained more. They just kind of just threw her
That's
in there.
that's
That
where
was probably
things
my
got me a
biggest
little-
issue with this episode. That's
Yeah.
the only issue I had with this episode.
Yeah,
Honestly,
everybody
that's
got
it.
their own shine. She didn't.
Right. But I mean, Doctor Strange, what's up, bro?
So no, so then they get to that bar, and yo, Thor, he made it fun for me to watch because even my wife was
Great.
laughing. She had no clue what the fuck was going on.
He was great.
He was like, "Can you explain for the other people in the room that may not understand? Because I understand, but they..." I'm like, "Yo, you're a
Not
fucking
me,
clown,
but
bro."
you know, just a little bit lower and slower for them. and whatnot.
And I'm like, yo, I wish, and that's the kind of Thor we got in Ragnarok, right? And I'm like, that's the Thor we like and we enjoy. And that shit was funny. Even when he was with the hammer, he was like, "Viva Las Vegas." And I'm like, what the fuck just happened here? Like, yo, everything he did was fucking comical, bro.
It was
I
great.
loved it. And then of course we saw Peggy Carter kind of like reliving the Captain America Winter Soldier movie where she lands on the ship.
I like that callback. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I like that callback.
I thought it was dope. Even like jumping out of the plane scene and she's talking to Black Widow. It's all like it connects.
It's what we saw, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
and I loved it.
So it kind of showed what was happening to her after she had came back
Yes.
through the portal.
Yes,
Dope.
exactly. And then of course, we saw Star-Lord T'Challa save actual Peter Quill
From
because
his
his
dad.
father. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, that we were waiting for that. We were waiting for that. And who else? We saw Killmonger. He got taken before T'Challa's sister and
Was about to and
Kill
the
him.
mother and all the
Yeah.
what's her name? Tony Stark's girl.
Oh,
I don't know why I'm forgetting her name.
Yeah. I was gonna say Peggy.
Pepper.
I knew something with a P. Yeah.
Is
So
it-
they were going after him, and then he was just gone. We just saw everybody come together. I thought it was dope, right? But when I'm watching this, I'm like, I didn't see Rocket Raccoon. I didn't see,
Man, Marvel does
Groot.
that though.
I'm like,
They
man,
do
I
that.
like
I
those
told you.
characters, man.
I told you it was no Guardian stuff. Plus, from
Yeah,
what I
you did say that.
remember, I did see something about them taking I think like 2 episodes out of the series because
Oh,
they
did
didn't fit into the overall
Oh shit!
theme of the series.
Wow.
So I know they took out one that had Spider-Man in it, and I
Right,
don't
we
know
only
what the
got
other
him
one
once.
was, but I remember seeing somewhere that they did take out a certain amount of episodes to make the story fit into the 9.
Gotcha.
So that may be a reason why we never saw that. They probably had that in the cut,
Yeah.
or they're probably saving it for season 2, a possible season 2.
Yeah.
We don't know.
And even when they're about to fight, right? They get that camera moving like the way they did in the first Avengers, and that's the one we saw in the trailer. But now we see a full circle. We see everybody
Right.
there come together. I thought all that was dope. Even when I think it was Doctor Strange, he was opening up a portal, and you saw all the zombies come, and I'm like, oh shit, this is where Spider-Man's gonna come through, right? And no, nothing
No.
happened. And I was like, all right, I guess it's just these guys. And that's the thing. I like the heroes that were selected, but I feel like they could have been better ones that could have been selected for this final battle.
That makes
And
sense.
That's where things.
But I think the way they explained it,
well, yeah, it makes sense.
where
that they
how
choose them.
the Watcher chose who he chose for a reason.
Yeah,
Like the whole way it ended with Killmonger and this guy. Like I'm pretty sure he chose that specific world to go to
because he knew
for
something
the reason that he knew Black Widow was gonna show up from that universe.
And
with
Doctor
the whole,
Strange said that to him at the end too. Like you knew all
Right.
of this was gonna happen, so this is why you
Exactly.
did this. And it's crazy because there was a moment where at the end where Black Widow and the Watcher were talking, and she's like, "I'm not going back to where else. There was nobody there." and it felt like she was talking to God in a sense. Like it was like a religious thing. Like, you
Right.
know, your stories and everything, you mean so much to me. You don't understand how much you mean to me. I care for you, and I can't do anything for you. And you sometimes feel like that. I know we're going personal to a little bit to the left, but it felt like that in that moment where it's like when you're down and out and you're praying and asking why these things are happening. That's what she was going through. If you put yourself in her situation, she lost everything and everyone. There was nothing to go back to.
Right.
And
She
she
was
was
the
like,
only human left alive
yeah.
on that universe, which is
And
crazy.
she's like, I'm not going back. And he's like, well, no one said you're going to go through those doors. And then boom, throws her. And it was like, you know how we lost a Black Widow in the movies?
Right.
Throws her in there. And Loki's like, I thought you were dead. And I'm like, what just happened?
But here's
What
the
is
thing.
going on?
You know what universe that he threw her into, right?
No.
That's the one that Hank Pym killed everybody. That's why it was only Captain America, Captain Marvel fighting, and none of the other Avengers were there. And that's why he was like, oh, that's why Loki was like, oh, your new team of Avengers, blah, blah, blah. And then she came and was like, hold this foot to your face, you bump. Yeah. He put her into, he was like, they lost their widow, which they did.
Yeah. And I'm like, wait, are you talking about ours? We're getting a new one?
No, it threw her into that new universe.
That was dope. Yeah, that was dope.
So it kind of made that go full circle. The only story that really didn't go full circle to its fullest extent was probably the zombie one.
Yeah, that was like,
but that's fine because it's like, okay, I get it. Yeah. They could probably continue a zombie series anyways. I know they're looking into that because a lot of people enjoyed the zombie episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, they tied that together so well with her. It's just like, okay, yeah, her last friend died. The other guy that she was working with, the little robot thing, betrayed everybody like they thought he would have, right? Yeah. And now she got a new place to go, and you know, even the fact that Nick Fury recognized that and was like, "You're not my widow, but you know, you got the same kind of attitude. That's what I like to see, baby." Yeah. Also, one thing I do want to point out is how Diesel could Black Panther actually be, right? Because Killmonger was able to put on. Take the nanotech stuff and took the armor of Ultron and put on all the freaking Infinity Stones, which is wild. So like, I can only imagine like, yo, what if, like that? Like, yo, but like, what if in Endgame he could have done something like that? You know, what if they had a suit for him instead of freaking Tony sacrificing himself? It was like, yo, I can survive this, bro. What's up?
Yeah.
And you know, do his thing. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much just gave you a recap of the entire episode, but there were a lot of things that happened here, and I think the one thing I was telling Chris before we restarted recording, I've been battling with the thought of do I love this one more than I loved last week's episode? I don't know. I'm still battling with that thought, but I will say that I was at the edge of my seat for this entire episode. My mouth was dropped for most of it. The fight scenes were incredible. I loved having all of them come together and think of ways to fight. Some of it felt kind of rushed because it was only 35 minutes. I actually thought this was going to be like the one and only hour episode, but it wasn't.
right.
And I'm like, damn, this is 35 minutes. This is going to go fast. And it kind of started off slow, but it picked up and it didn't stop. And then, of course, what?
Sorry, I was going to say the last two episodes were literally an Infinity Game and Wars, Endgame level, Infinity War and Endgame level type of situation.
Absolutely. Yeah, because
so it felt like that.
Too. Yeah.
Where it was like, yo, I love both these movies or both these situations.
Yeah.
But which one's better? I don't know. I think both of them are equal. The way that it left off on the same thing and it was like right after, boom, this is what we're getting into.
I loved it.
And even when it introduced Thor and he was fighting all the Ultrons because that's where Ultron had gone to for a second.
Yeah.
He was just busting the ass, distracted.
Yeah.
Like Thor was hilarious. I don't care what nobody says.
I loved it. He had to actually grab him, bro.
Right. He was like, yo, my man's like, I'm trying to tell you, you're chosen. Come on, bro. You know? And even when he messed up, when they're all talking like, oh, well, tomorrow we'll get the thing ready. And he was just like, yeah. And put the freaking thunder up. And the Ultron was like, oh, so there is life here. I got to kill you guys. And he's just huge. He's just like, yo, I'm here now. I'm here to kill everybody. And it opens up his own portal. But like, you could just tell Ultron was so strong at that moment because he realized everything that's out there. He was like, oh, Pasha didn't tell you. Hey, this, that, whatever. Like even when you thought they won, you
Oh
know,
yeah, it didn't feel
there was a
right.
moment where you
Yeah.
literally thought they won, and you're like, oh, they crushed this Infinity Stone, and she's like, oh my god, no,
It doesn't
it
work
doesn't
in this
work for
universe.
the Infinity Stones that he has, and
Yeah.
it works for the Infinity Stones in my universe. And he just comes back and is like, yeah, I got all of them. What's up?
And there was a scene, and I thought it was incredible, bro. That where that one stone was on the floor, and you see people just fighting for it. They're trying to grab it,
and it
people,
stood on the Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
That was
you see the hammer going
tier,
back
bro.
and forth, and it's like,
yo, whoever thought of that, if that would have happened in like a game or something, yo, that would have been, because it felt like that, like with the whole.
Well, I had a similar thing in game where they were like, where Black Panther became Barry Sanders and was just
yeah, that's what I'm saying. When they were passing off the gauntlet, yeah.
But that I know what you're talking about, that angle where it was just focused on that, and then you just saw all the characters like reaching for it.
I watched it 2 times. I watched it. It was
beautiful.
I said that was great, and I even told my wife, I said, "Yo, that looks amazing, like,
incredible."
They did an amazing job. So yes, I do battle the thought. I really do, because I did enjoy this fucking episode. And do I see it as a season 2? They have room to do a season 2. Can I say I won't watch it? No, because I'm a sucker for this shit. I'm gonna watch everything.
Hey, but you got drawn back in. You almost gave up. You were this close to giving up.
Yeah.
Right after that Thor episode, you were like, yo.
Thor, yes. If it wasn't for that Thor episode, I would have probably walked away, because I was so on the edge. I'm like, oh, you guys are fucking me up, but I need to see the ending. But because it was comical, I enjoyed it. I was like, let's see what else I got to offer. But seeing the Watcher fight last episode against him, that was really dope. This one, you didn't really see it head on. It was more like attacks towards him. I was also wondering, why didn't he use one of those stones, the reality stone, to then create all the other Ultrons to distract them, so that way he can fuck them up? It was just dumb against him.
Right. I think it was because of Strange. Like, if there's one person that can take MVP in this whole situation, was Doctor Strange.
Like, and I think people underestimate how strong he is in this moment.
In this version of Strange literally took in all these freaking demons, all these freaking dark magic.
Even the other superheroes, like, you had this the whole time,
right? Because he had a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
it was similar to how he fought in Infinity War against Thanos, where he was kind of showing up with all this.
Yeah,
but like on crack,
gang
like, times 1,000. Because he had dragons inside of him.
Yeah,
he turned into what looked like he turned into Hellboy for a second. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was Mephisto.
But like, not only that, but he was sharing his powers with everybody. He gave every single person a shield of magic to block from what Ultron could do, which is the only reason they were surviving. Because if it wasn't for that, they would have been obliterated.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like and Ultron was even trying to figure out, like, yo, how come you guys aren't dying? You guys usually die way easier in every other spot. I fought you guys before. Like, you're all dead. You know? So he was like, yo, he's trying to figure out
planets. What the fuck?
Right. And then once he figured it out, that's when he went on that full-blown, like, oh, okay, you're the key, bum.
Yeah.
and he was, and the crazy part was Doctor Strange was still protecting not only himself, he was protecting everybody else.
Yeah.
Until they were able to get, bow and arrow. She said, "This one's for you, Clint." That was mad.
I forgot all about that fucking arrow, bro.
Yeah.
Like, yo, how they gonna
as soon as I saw her, I knew it. I was like, oh,
this makes sense.
I was like, the freaking arrow.
Yeah.
I was like, where's the arrow? Bring it out. She pulled it out. Hold that.
Yeah.
And I knew he was gonna turn on him too, on them.
Oh yeah,
like,
Killmonger.
I knew, no, not Killmonger.
Oh,
the AI.
Oh yeah.
That was in the arrow, because I'm like, yo, he's a bad guy to begin with.
Yeah,
he's like, oh, I got legs now. Nice.
Yeah. He reminded me of you probably don't remember, but what's the name of that brain that's in Ninja Turtles? Is it like Brainiac, or that's DC, where the brain is inside the stomach? That it reminded me of something like that from Ninja Turtles.
I think that might be DC. I don't know.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, he's in the stomach. Now he has powers, and then Killmonger has powers, and now they're fighting for the stone. I'm like, what the fuck? What are they gonna do now? Yeah,
because the body belonged to him, but Killmonger had took the Ultron's body, the armor, and basically connected to the stones and whatnot. Yeah. So they were literally just in the middle, boom. And that's when Doctor Strange realized, like, oh, we were never meant to win.
Yeah, we just need to take the stones away. Yeah,
and he basically trapped them in their own reality the same way he was trapped in his situation. And then boom. And even the Watcher was like, "Yo, they're grateful to you, thanks, bro, but hey, I'm gonna put you back
Yeah, you didn't
in
go
your little
back where
pocket, right? You go back in your pocket because you dangerous, bro. Like, hey,
yeah,
thanks,
you going back.
thanks a lot. I didn't want to get my ass beat again, so appreciate you, brother. I'm out.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Right,
Peace.
right.
He just kept the movie. Yeah, and I thought and then we got the end credit scene where Natasha meets with Black Widow meets with Peggy Carter, and they go to find the what was it
What they were
the
hiding,
what was it
what
the
Hydra was
Hydra
hiding,
the Hydra armor or whatever, the Hydra killer or something
the
like that.
Hydra Stomper.
Hydra Stomper, and they're like, it's not what's there, it's what's in that, and then they end it.
Yeah, there's
Boom.
somebody inside. Boom,
And it's supposed to be her
you know who it
man.
is?
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
Steve.
Yeah, Steve Rogers
It's
in there,
Puny.
bro.
It's Puny Steve.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, that was cute. I hope this is it. I don't really want a season 2, Chris. Do you want a season 2?
Like I said, it's very possible. I think this might have been my favorite series out of all of them. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Really over Loki? Because Loki was top, bro. Loki was a shit.
It's up there. I do think it's my favorite one overall. Granted, it had 9 episodes, and I liked 6 out of 9. Like I enjoyed them, and even the ones I didn't enjoy, like Captain Carter was, like I said, my least favorite. But even like the Killmonger one was cool, and the Thor one was really funny. Like that's still enjoyable. So out of 9 episodes, I only really disliked 1. You know what I'm saying? So for me to only dislike 1, whereas the Loki was 6 episodes, and I think I disliked 2. It has a better percentage rating to me.
I guess. So if you had to rate this one particular episode, what would you give it? 1 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Damn. So you're tying it with last week. I don't know. Replaying everything in my mind, I don't know if it's better than last week. Because of the whole thing with Gamora, we didn't get a backstory. The little slow beginning. And I understand why they had to do that. But I really enjoyed this. So I'm just gonna give this a 9 out of 10. I don't think it was better than last week after replaying everything in my mind. I really was blown away by everything in the last 2 episodes. I think closing it out here, not doing a season 2, I think will be perfect. Now, will this cross over to our MCU as we know it? I don't know. What do you think?
I would love to see the Watcher in live action. Like even the actor that voices him,
Jeffrey Wright,
looks very similar to what his character looks like.
I want to,
and I would love to see him in like live action. That's one thing. I don't know if like the characters that we met here are gonna. Obviously, this was kind of like a, Guardians of the Multiverse type joint.
Yeah, it was
which
dope.
Awesome.
Yeah,
it's a what if situation, so it's always like
that's what I'm saying. Do I need more though?
That's the thing. They have so much that they can do. There's so much stories that they can go by, different characters that they can use.
I just don't know if I need more.
Right, you may not need more. They might not do any more, but they, like I said, it's possible they can do more.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
it really is. I think it's really up to what the consumers want. So, like, obviously, there's gonna be people that feel like you, and there's gonna be people like me that are like, yo, I love it. I'll watch it regardless.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm with all the animated smoke. You know what I mean?
And the animated looked really good. The slow motions, everything. I think they did a fantastic job with this series. The voice acting, the scenarios, the stories. Some I didn't like, some I loved. But overall, I think the series was good. Like I said earlier, but they said this was canon. I think it was just canon to the movies we saw prior. I don't know if this is going to translate well to the MCU Phase 4. I just don't know if this fits or if we need it or anything like that. Maybe for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, maybe, but I don't even think we need it there.
You know, it is that I think it just I think they're making it easier to understand the multiversal stuff.
Okay, then I get that.
You know what I mean? I think that's why they made it canon, because it's like, yo, think about this. Him and Ultron were fighting through a multiverse where, I mean, they showed us a bunch of stuff. The whole Steve Rogers becoming president. They even went through a Star Wars location. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, but, and it's like, oh, Darth Vader's in Marvel.
Right. Right. But yeah, I think they were just trying to make it they're trying to make the multiverse more understandable to not only us, but like casual watchers that don't know anything
or newcomers or anything like that.
Right. It's like, yo, there's a multiverse out there. This is what goes on. Like, this is beyond everything that we're watching in the MCU at the moment. Right.
Yeah.
think about it. Guardians of the Multiverse. They're protecting not only one universe, but every single one that was
Yeah,
available because Ultron was ready to go and smoke everybody's boots.
absolutely. Yeah.
So I think that's what the purpose was for this, as to why it was uh quote unquote canon. Because obviously I don't think it's gonna connect to anything. The only thing that I think can connect, like I said, is the Watcher in live action, which would be great.
Yeah, I would like to see that. I would really like. Maybe we see it in Eternals. I don't know.
Like imagine him meeting the guy from Ant-Man and they have a conversation. Beautiful.
I don't
That's a
know.
great scene. That's a
Yeah.
great scene to have,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, that's going to be it for us. I want to thank you all for being here. We appreciate the love and support that you gave us up until this point. We released 9 episodes, 9 reviews. We had a great time. But keep in mind, moving forward, these things are going to change. We're not going to be doing episode reviews anymore. We're going to be doing the full series reviews moving forward. So the next series I think we're going to be doing is the Hawkeye one. And
Yeah.
we're gonna do that not by episode but by the series, so when it ends, that's when you get a full review, and that's gonna go for anything that's episodic that we're gonna be doing in the future. So I want to thank you all for being here. Remember, we're gonna post this show, this is gonna be our last show that you're gonna see for this, our last review for the show, but remember to see us again every Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/keepgaming podcast. Go ahead and follow the channel, and if you don't got time to watch us live, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to our latest content. Just type in Keep Gaming Podcast on YouTube. And if you don't got time to watch us, listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. And that's going to be it for us. Until next time, keep gaming. Peace.